I found this inhuman.com website in LinkedIn. Let me refresh the page. You see the logo is coming with a delay. The all components is here, but logo is coming here with a delay. Maybe they are using a scroll effect or animation, but they are not using animation for this menu. So they can use animation. So the logo will come from left side or right side, and this section will come from left or right side. They can use nice animation. Anyway, I will show you. I will show you few issues in responsive mobile view for this website, but let me show you few things in desktop mode. So let's see few things. They are using scroll animation. So when we are scrolling in bottom, the content are showing with an animation. Okay, this section heading and subheading is using an animation, but not this blocks. This blocks is not using any animation. You see, there is no animation, so they can use animation here also to look so good. Also, I am saying there is no much more text here. They have used a heading in each block, and the icons are not much more bigger, or they can change these images to look much more bigger. Let me show you a few things. They can also keep the images in center and the text in center, and then this icon button in any corner. So how it's look in the center, you can see. Let me say show you few things in this website. So they can use margin left and right auto, so the image will be center. Now the images are in center. Nice. Then they can keep this text also in center, but this arrow button must be stay in any corner, here or here. Okay, we can now center this text. So this center text will be text area in center. So now this is looking nicer. Maybe they can also use a zoom effect, that is CSS transition effect. So when we enter the mouse to any blocks, it will have zoom effect. Let me show you what it is. So when the center will be hover, when this block will be hover, there is not any hover effect here. Then we can do anything. We can zoom in the icons or the entire section. Let me show you. It is how it will look. I'm not sure if it is CSS responsive CSS. I'm not sure. Okay, when this will hover, then its img will have CSS transform. Sorry, CSS transform scale. Let's say 1.2. Let's say 1.2. Also, this image must will have a transition effect, transition delay. So the transform or zoom effect will have is smooth is will happen with smoothly. Transition, let's say 0.3 second or 0.5 second. Sorry, 0.5 second. Then now check this. So when we will hover the this with the effect, when we are entering the mouse, it is hovering the images. Nice. We can also make this entire block hover. It will make nicer. But here I'm saying these text are not centered properly. So let's say this text is also centered. It is also here in center. We have already made this center, but here it is not. You see, this is not looking so good. Just showing an arrow and images and few more text. Anyway, they can use a sub paragraph type text here, or they can increase the slow images size here. Maybe they are using icon type image. Here I'm seeing a bad style CSS. What is bad here? You see, they are using display flicks property here in CSS. There is display flicks in h3 element, h3 tag, but in the text there is no anything here. They can use a div or they can use a span tag here. So the display flicks will work in the text and then the bottom this button also. So this button already have a div element, but for the text there is nothing. So this flicks is not working for the text, and I think this is not a good CSS practice here. So this element is not centered here. They can use anything here, any HTML tag, so the display flicks property can work properly. Anyway, this is not best practice in my view. Okay, then this is a nice section, nice icons here, better nice icon. I like it. And then they are using hover effect. Okay, it is a carousel. Maybe they are using here CSS transition zoom in effect. Sorry, CSS transform zoom in effect. Nice. Then this section you see, these are coming from the bottom. with a fade effect, but for the images it is not coming with fade effect. You see nice images fade effect there. Here there is nothing. I'm seeing here is a blank. Okay, there is something, but this is not visible yet. This is not visible. You see, then and here it is also not visible. The content is already in center of the website, but the this part is already in center, almost center in the on the screen, but the content is not coming here yet. You see, it is coming now. I think this is not a good practice. Let me show you a few things. I have made many websites with CSS nice CSS scroll animation. Let me show you a few. I'll show you one or two website to get an idea how this scroll animation will look very good. You see, this is using scroll animation, and all section will scroll whenever it will visible in the website. In the I think this is not so good. Let me show you another. You see, this is using scroll animation, nice scroll animation, and any content it must be visible whenever it will. You see there. And there is nothing actually. It is centered with this section. So all section will scroll properly whenever it will enter in the screen, not in the center. So this will make uh, the user who should not get any idea that there is something on the see, there is nice scroll animation and all thing is visible viewing perfectly whenever it is entering to the screen. So they can use nice scroll animation, but this section are gone. So this is not so good style, I think. FAQ section uses a lot of content here, so this is by default it is open. Okay, then if we open another, so both section are open, so at a time they can use JavaScript function, so that at a time there will be only one FAQ in open state, as there are a lot of content in the FAQ portions. Okay, yeah, nice. Okay, but this over effect is not looking so good. They are just using a rotation when we are entering mouse on it. So what they can make it, how they can make it professional, they can use a box shadow here and then a zoom effect. So CSS transform scale may be perfect here. Okay, then what I'm saying, there is very less space here for this section. Okay, they can keep a back to top button here, so that when we will click on the back to top button, the page will go to the top. Okay, then let's check this page on the responsive mobile view, how it is will look in the mobile. Let me refresh the page again. After selecting a mobile device, I am refreshing the page. Okay, it is nicely showing, but when I am entering the mouse to the menus to open, you see there is a the middle bar, here is 3 bar, but the middle bar is going uh, fade outing with delay. You see, middle bar immediately will hide after clicking here, but also this is not acting as a clickable icon, maybe clickable button. This mouse must turn into cursor pointer, as like when we will enter in a also this is not using any padding, so the clickable element is so small, they can use cursor pointer. Now the mouse cursor will turn to a hand so that it will clickable something. You see, this is not working now. I am clicking my mouse, but this is not working. So the clickable element, they must fix this. This is, you see, this is not working now, and here it is working, but here it is not working. So this is the problem. So this section is taking entire white there. So this is the problem. I think they are not using proper CSS here. Why they will use 100% white here, and I'm not sure. Okay, they can use flex property here, so they can use display flex, and then two section will be in two side. Okay, let me show fix it. Now this intersection is clickable. They can use little bit more white height, but the intersection now will be clickable. You see, they can use 25 pixel wide and 25 pixel height, but the entire section is now clickable. You see the intersection mouse will be clickable. So we have used this white height in the close state. We must need to use in this state also. There is little bit CSS, nothing more. Okay, now say the other section. This is how this happened. This will make a problem. I think you can say this will reduce the white height. You see the page white height is changing. You see the page is jumping top and bottom. For this type of text animation, they can stop this type of animation here, or either they can use a fixed height here or maximum text line. You see it is jumping the page for the larger text when it is coming with the large text. You see the page is jumping. Okay, this is a problem. I think they must fix this in mobile devices. And here they can reduce the font size here and can keep this kind of blocks in 2 lines. Okay, you see here is a problem. You see the header section is coming suddenly and going suddenly. You see it is now and it is coming also. So this is a problem. I think you see the top header menu is coming and going, suddenly coming and suddenly it is going. So this is a problem, I think. Okay, then they can keep this all section, they can keep this all in center, reduce the font size. Okay, then check few things, and they can reduce this type of font size. And then this section is looking so good with this icon and font size and all these looking so good. Okay, this is as like carousel maybe, so it is a carousel, so they can keep an icon left and right icon, so that user can easily understand then there is something to click, or there is something they need to click to visit. Usually there is something they can understand to see this, but an arrow can make this much more professional. Okay, then here you see an critical issue. I'm not saying the entire text here for this section. Maybe it is a carousel or slider, but there is problem. You cannot read the entire text here. It is a problem. Let me fix it. It is using a fix white maybe. I'm not sure. We need to check this section. Maybe it is using. We need to check this. We can use max white, 100 we put white, and then margin auto. You see now we can, and then we can use a padding left and right this type, and we can reduce to 0, and you can reduce it to 15 pixel, or this kind of padding is perfect. You see now the entire text is visible and looking so nice. Then we can make this website this type of font little bit smaller. Okay, and they can reduce this icon size. Okay, they can reduce also this font size. In the FAQ section, reduce this space here. There is much more space I'm seeing. They can also reduce the. Okay, this is nice. They don't need to reduce something. Okay, then this footer section is okay and nice. Here is drop down type menu. This is nice, but this is not block element. So when someone will click here, nothing will happen, and if someone click here, it also will happen. But there is no cursor icon here. Cursor will turn to hand in this. There is a display flicks, but they can use white 100% and justify content center. Now we see whenever we will click, it will open, and they can also use cursor pointer, so it will turn to clickable element. Now see the cursor will turn to clickable element, and any we will click, it will open its related menu. Okay, they can improve this page. They can also reduce this font a little bit smaller, so they can fix the things like this. The content are going hiding when we are scrolling to top. This is not professional, so the contents also will be visible. These should not go out when we are scrolling to the upper. When we are scrolling to the top, the content must stay there, but this is not staying here. They must fix this. The entire text is not visible. They can use an previous and next clickable icon here, as it is a carousel, or they can keep the icons here and the text left alien. Then this section is nice. They can reduce this font size little bit. They can fix this there is nothing in this kind of blocks without an icon and a text. They can reduce this kind of space with two line, or reduce this block with much more space. You see, here is much more space, here is also much more padding. They can reduce this kind of blocks. Then like this, they can use two line, then they can use two column block on there here for this section. Services we provide, and they can fix this will making problem for this website, and it is out into two lines for this color text. You see, it is jumping. Okay, and for this, or maybe for this, the header part is coming and hiding automatically. You see, it is coming now. You see, it is hiding and also coming now. So this happening maybe for this kind of text animation. Okay, we can visit other pages for this website and can fix more things to make this website more professional. Anyway, thank you for watching these videos for this website.